I like this lot because I've been here for 8 years and I had never had a break-in too because they have 2 security guards circling it. It says no pedestrians, but this is the safe way. So we're gonna pop on this side.
Why do you take the ramp instead of the stairs?
The stairs have people who do drugs in there, but groups of them at times.
Can you just walk me through a little bit, like kind of what goes through your head every morning as you're making this walk?
So kind of just walk really fast, watch on the ground so there's no like feces, needles. We lock the doors now. We used to leave the doors open all the time.
Since the tents have been removed, what have you seen? Do you feel like things have improved for you?
No, definitely not. It's increased. Like I was saying, one of our girls here on the way to work one morning ran in. There was a guy, no clothing, and it was like a movie for her because she had to run in and lock the door. And as she was doing it, he tugged at the door.
And over the last 8 years, how have things changed? You know, why are you still here in this location?
Because it's our job, right? We have to pay the bills. All the girls, we all love what we do. Our clients love us. It wasn't like this. When we opened it in 2015, the vibe was there, you know, the streets, tourists, everything. But after that, you saw it just dropped.
From your perspective, what do you want to see changed?
The mentally ill, the drug users, they need help. Focus on that. And anybody who's committing crime, they should be taken care of too. There should be a consequence for that.
Hello. Hi, Rasa. How long has your business been open?
1.5 years. I expect to do better than what I do here. My food is perfect. Every customer are saying that, but I don't have lots of enough customer, I mean. So why? Because of the neighborhood. Because lots of stranger people are coming in and then interrupting us and then stealing everything.
What do you want to say to the government, to policymakers, like about what the situation you're facing?
They have to do something. They need help. Some of them are not, are not
Mentally well?
Yes, are not mentally well. This is not their problem. This is our problem, right? This is our problem. What can I do? Nothing. I just can give them food, a free food, kind of like, but they don't need food. They need a space to live. They need home.
You're usually kind of around this block?
Yeah, I'm here every day, 11 to 4.
So I'm curious to know, because like some of these businesses, they say they're happy to be here. They want to support the community as well. Do you ever frequent
Some do, some don't. I get along good with this laundromat guy here. A lot of people hate him because he charges a lot. But I am kind of working, I sell an illegal substance, but I always carry under what the legal limit they say is now.
Right.
But that's only to keep my girlfriend off the corner. I work so she doesn't have to.
Is it hard to try and coexist with businesses?
I mean, people shouldn't be allowed to go into businesses and cause a scene and stuff. They should.
There's a street Kermit the Frog just got $100,000.
Hey, keep walking, man.
There you go.
I know him. I see him all the time.
Hey, you got
Now-
I think that kind of interruption is exactly kind of what some of these business owners say.
Right?
Yeah.
But he's drunk, right? He's an alcoholic. I've never seen him drunk this early.
So I mean, that's kind of the way to deal with it. It's just to encourage people to move along, right?
Yeah, there's no reason that people you can't still not do the right thing.
Do you ever worry that you're like making other people feel uncomfortable?
I hope not. I try not to. I'm polite to people all the time. When I see, whenever there's cruise ships in town, so there'll be a lot of tourists and stuff walking around. Especially if they have kids, I try and make sure they don't go turn right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do my best to make sure they don't go down that way.
Do you think it's possible for like businesses to have a healthy, healthy business while still being down here?
As long as these streets down here are going to be flooded with crystal meth, the problem of people causing scenes and freaking out periodically It's not going to stop.
So Justin gave us some insight into why people, who are having episodes, whether it be mental health or when they're using, they go into stores and they kind of cause a fuss sometimes. So, you got any thoughts on that?
I really think they don't really have any control over it. I personally don't do stuff like that, but I know a lot of my friends that have been wired to drugs for a long time. They're just not the people that I grew up with anymore. They
get sleep dep, right?
Sleep deprivation, yeah. They don't sleep for days, and then, it's irreversible damage, right? Drugs do to your brain. So once you get to that point, it's kind of like, it is what it is, and they go and they don't realize you can't really fault somebody like an insane person for doing insane things because they don't have no control over that.
We're just waiting for a Zoom interview with Dr. Perry Kendall. He is the former provincial health officer here in BC. So he's in Victoria now, he's retired. And we're gonna talk to him because, the problems on the downtown east side are increasing. I think everyone would agree on that. But he was there back in 2000 when the City of Vancouver implemented this groundbreaking 4 pillars drug strategy, which included harm reduction. And there's been some criticism, of course, because with those problems increasing. So we want to ask him if he feels like the policy has lived up to its potential, and maybe why not.
Recording in progress.
I wanted to first off get from you, how do you think we're doing in terms of meeting the challenges of the people on the downtown east side?
The number of homeless people on the streets is increasing. The number of people with serious mental illness on top of substance abuse issues is increasing. And the area in which people are living has actually decreased. Gentrification has been gradually encroaching on the downtown east side, the affordable blocks, over the past 20 years as well. So what you have is a larger population of homeless people, more of whom have concurrent disorders, and fewer of whom have a place to actually live inside.
So in your opinion then, what is it that we need to do now? What do governments need to focus on in order to help the business owners who are affected by the many issues plaguing the people living on the downtown east side?
There is no quick, simple, easy fix, okay? Anybody who thinks there is basically, blowing smoke out of their ass, to be honest and crude. So there's no quick, easy fix. But in the background, we need to ask, can you think of any other policy that is killing British Columbians at the rate of 2,300 a year, right? Which is what our Controlled Drugs and Substances Act and our criminalization of certain drugs does. So we need to have a discussion around, is this really a sane policy or not? I think we should move to a regulated supply, but that's a big political leap. And let's increase our access to mental health care and primary health care. But that's not going to happen overnight either.
Everyone's looking for solutions, and we're about to talk to Kevin Barlow. He's the executive director of the Hastings Cross Business Improvement Association, which basically oversees the entire East Hastings strip, as well as the 1 or 2 blocks north and south of it, including Linda's business and Ross's business. And he's pushing for solutions now. He's been working with vulnerable populations his entire career, so let's go have a chat. And so as the guy who's trying to advocate for essentially probably the toughest business neighborhood in maybe all of North America, what do you tell policymakers? Like, what do these businesses need in order to try and actually, cut it? It's tough out there.
Yeah, I think one of the things we don't really understand is that even those people that are homeless are contributing to the local economy here. So they'll go into corner stores and buy cigarettes or coffee, that type of thing, I really believe that tiny homes, and there's other alternatives like retrofitting buses, and you can put them into either a parkette, like close off a block, put a couple buses there, and then you can house 20 people. They're away from buildings. I just think the city is not open enough to looking at those things because they're trying to create this smoke and mirrors where they're saying, okay, we've chased everybody out, now let's get back to normal.
In talking to the businesses here, there are a lot of worries, there's a lot of fear, but at the same time, there's a lot of hope. People want to be in this community, they want to keep their doors open, and they want to see the community thrive. And the hope is that by speaking out, they'll be able to bring about change, not just for themselves, but for everyone here.